welcome. We've got a little surprise guest expert for you in the VIP lounge. This is Laura Gilchrist, and she's actually one of our boot camp coaches, which is so exciting. But she's also the owner of the Torchettes. Now, you'll have just seen an epic video of her, and so I really wanted to chuck this in here because I think you guys are going to find this really, really, really exciting. But welcome, Laura. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm really well, thank you. And thank you for letting me be here and talk about this with everybody today.
I know, it's going to be so fun. So I guess let's just kind of start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what stirred you to build the Torchettes.
Fabulous. So I am trained as a professional dancer, and my natural progression out of that and being very kind of business minded was to open an agency. And in that agency, we provide dancers, stilt walkers, circus artists, and for weddings, of course, while I'm here, birthday parties, launches, you name it. If there's some entertainment there, we'd love to provide it. And I saw a little bit of a niche in that we get a lot of requests for fire. And there are fire troops out there, but a lot of the time fire goes down the route of being really overly sexy. You'll see it at tattoo conventions and stuff like that. And we wanted to create something that was family friendly. So something that you could have at the wedding at any time of the day, or that we could perform at, community festivals where there were going to be people of all ages there, because with fire it tends to come little clothing just because of the nature of the job. You don't want to set any clothes on fire. Then the Torchettes was born. So we have the Torchettes as like a sub company of our big entertainments company. You still book the big entertainments company, but you book the act, the Torchettes. We prefer to perform in troops because the bigger the fire, the better, for sure. And we, at the minute, are doing lots and lots, well, not right now, but there's lots of bookings for weddings in the diary just because it's so fab, and it's something completely out of the norm. We talked before about how people are a lot of the time trying to beat each other over it's their sister on their wedding or a relative, or just want to do something fabulous. Even at my wedding, I got married nearly 10 years ago. I got married quite early in the day, and my whole kind of thought process for the whole day was, I need to keep the guests entertained. I need to make sure that they're not getting bored, and I need to make sure there's constantly, there's a singer on, or there's a sweetheart that they can go and access at this time. So it's definitely been a popular thing that people are kind of reaching out more and more to, and it just was a natural progression for me as a dancer to go into something a little bit more daring.
I love that. And just tell everybody really quickly the name of your big company.
Yeah, so the big company is Cheeky Bonita Entertainment, but you'll find on social media all the tags for Torchettes because we keep that a little bit separate as well. Find us there.
Yeah, awesome. Fab. So, okay. So, really totally out of the norm. Absolutely love that because it really is. And you are literally filling a niche there. I love it so much. So what draws you to fire artistry?
It is so addictive. Linking back to you hear as a kid, don't play with fire, or that boys are kind of get obsessed with playing with fire. We've all been there as a kid in the summer with a magnifying glass, trying to set leaves on fire. Well, no, not all, but have you?
I love that. No.
And there's just something so mesmerizing about it to all ages. We've done birthday parties for 5-6-year-olds because somebody wanted to go that extra. We've done wedding anniversaries, 50th wedding anniversaries. It just is something that can kind of create a really big impression on a big group of people, and of all ages. So it's just so captivating. And it fits in with, it doesn't necessarily have to fit in with a theme. We can fit with anything. But I personally just love it. It's, like I said, it's addictive. we constantly get people asking us, oh, how did you do that? Oh, have you got something on your skin? Oh, what is it you put in your mouth when you fire breathe? And you're like,
Yeah, it's a little bit like magic, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we say to the kids. It's magic. It's magic. I'm a dragon. Like I've got dragon genes. That's why.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember we were talking about it for a different, I think probably for another bride, but I can't remember. But we spoke about how you said that like the next few days your throat could hurt.
Yeah, so there's definitely an element of risk in there. You know, you're working with fire. All it takes is the wind to change direction, or this is where your professional training and your kind of experience comes in. But yeah, it's paraffin. We literally hold paraffin in our mouth and then blow.
I can only imagine what people are thinking right now.
Well, you'll have seen a little bit in the video at the beginning, but yeah, it is dangerous, and hence why then it comes with a little bit more of a premium cost.
Yes, of course, well, quite rightly at the end of the day. And I guess you've just nicely segued us. So if someone was to book with you, what does a typical package look like, and kind of your starting prices?
Fab. So a price for whether you're having that performer at your event for 10 minutes tends to be very similar to what it would be if they were doing, a couple of shows, because ultimately you've got to turn up, you've got to get all your kit out, you've got to be there. So our starting price for one performer usually starts at about £200. And that obviously grows depending on, what you do want, how big you want to go, how many performers you want, because there's a rehearsal process that, we have to take into consideration as well. But our typical booking, our most popular booking at the minute, is a 2-person show, and it involves kind of 3 services. The first one is some sort of like meet and greet. So when your evening guests arrive, whether that's 2 5 performers, whether that's 2 stilt walkers, whether that's other circus skill, because we like to give a variety. So our most popular package would be some sort of meet and greet, some sort of show, and then our last one would be, depending on the demographic, sometimes we can do a little kind of circus workshop. So if there's lots of kids there, sometimes we'll offer like a poi workshop, or we can offer like a section of photos with the bride and groom with like the fire in the background, which is epic.
Gosh.
You want to capture them gorgeous photos for the photo album. So yeah, that we tend to do. That's our most popular package, is those kind of 3 stages of things. And for 2 performers, you're looking around £450 for that. But in the kind of grand scope of weddings, we're starting at £200. I think it's very fairly priced, and whether it's a wedding or it's a festival or it's a launch of a opening of a bar, it's the same. We don't go, oh, let's double it because it's for a wedding.
Yeah, that's fab. Yeah. I love that, and I think you're paying for that extra little bit of magic, and I just absolutely so well priced. Actually,
it fits in so nicely.
Yeah.
With at the minute, I think for a few years there's been a massive trend in like sparklers and fireworks, and a lot of the time we are linked into that part. So, and it'll often be a surprise for the guests. So, I did one in a stunning dock. It was on a dock down in like Portsmouth, and their hat, it was in like a big house, and then the land was the dock, so it was their own property. So they went from, right, sparklers, everybody down to the dock, and there was me on the dock doing this full performance.
Oh my God.
And then they did the sparklers after. So it's really magical, and it really, really kind of, everyone's faces are just like in awe of what's going on.
I know that. You literally gave me goosebumps. I don't know if you can see. I've got like full on sun right now, but I literally goosebumps. Yeah, I'm going to take it. It's going to be like an angelic glow. That's fabulous. So, okay, that kind of like nicely again moves us in. So what are your top tips for anybody that is thinking about booking out of the norm entertainment?
Yeah. So the first one, with anything that's a little bit more kind of out the box, is that, they make sure that they've got all of their paperwork in check, so their risk assessments and their insurance. Now, I've done events where the venue has said, right, we need X amount of million covered on your public liability, and then we need this amount of risk assessment, we need all these specs, and we need to know what fuel you're going to use. But then I've done others when they're like, I'll send it anyway, but they don't ask. So just, if this person knows what they're doing, they will have all of this in place. So, so you're not working with budget.
Yeah.
Turns up with a lighter, like, this is my fire. Second one is that I really have like an honest approach to this industry, because a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand, but if someone quotes them £120 to come and do a fire show, that actually they're probably just going to get a dancer with some fire sticks that's kind of just started and is going to kind of just wave the sticks around and be like, ooh. So, being brutally honest with, if you have got a performer, and they're kind of being very honest with you and saying, right, well, this is what we charge and this is what this is, and let me tell you a little bit about our industry and what you'll be looking for. I think honesty goes a massive way. And going back to that, if you do want to book some fire and you are being quoted anything below £200, it's often because it's a very amateur. And cheap isn't always the best option. Yeah. So that's probably my final tip, is that if you are being quoted, and it can go up to that, like thousands if you have a massive show. But and another tip is that boys will charge more.
Why is that?
Don't know. I do know. I think it's because they have a lot of boys I know that do fire have bigger props and they take some bigger risks. So they might flip and do the props, or they might have some other different types of props. It's just a thing in the industry that the boys charge more. But it's all preference. It's totally up to you. And make sure you look at the performers' footage, their pictures, and just remember as well that a reel or a little show reel like mine, for example, literally just shows the best bits. It's there to show the best bits and capture you in. So just make sure that you feel like you trust that performer and they're going to put on a fantastic show for you and your guests.
Yeah, I love that. It's all the whole know, like, and trust factor at the end of the day, isn't it? And that's why, we like to sort of, that's why, suppliers in general will make sure that they're, hopefully, if they're good, meeting up with their brides and their couples, and it is that sort of know you by the person, right, as well, at some time. Exactly, that's another product. So, no, that's been awesome. Thank you so much. I love this. I think you're such an inspiration. I always do. And, where can everybody find you?
So if you do have any questions about, even if you're in the process of booking somebody and you want to drop me a message, I'm quite active in the group, or just Nikki will tag me in this video. So just find me, drop me a message, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, you can find our bigger agency on Instagram and Facebook, and it's Chica Bonita Entertainment, or you can find our Torchettes page, at the Torchettes. I like that it had a little bit of like a 50s ring to it, and it's a bit more pin-up. So that's the kind of feel we go for.
I love that. And I'll make sure to put those links in the caption as well for you, so that we can get you there quickly, ladies. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad. I know we've been trying to get this sorted for a while, so it's nice to sort of drop it in as a little surprise for everybody. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and I hope all the information has been valuable to our brides.
Absolutely. I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, my dear. I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.